Today we will read a poem in your first flight book, A Tiger in the Zoo. The poet is George Leslie Norris. Keep it in mind because sometimes it will be asked in the question, who's the poet of this poem? Was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as most important Welsh writers of the post-war period, and his literary works. Wait, Arpit has joined now. Literary works have won many prizes. Means he was well-known poet of Wales, and his famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Winder, Phoenix Living Poets series, Ransoms, etc. This is about the poet. Now today we will read a poem, the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. It is written by Leslie Norris, and in this poem, the poet has explained about the agony and, do you know the meaning of agony? Anyone? What is the meaning of agony? A-G-O-N-Y. Agony means mental pain. Ache जिसे हम कहते हैं, but ache we are using for headache, stomach ache, but it is agony means pain of mind and helplessness. When we were reading the lesson Nelson Mandela, that time I told you that freedom is important and priceless for everyone, whether human beings or animals. Here also we will see when a tiger is kept in the zoo, how it becomes helpless and unable to do whatever he wishes to do. That we will see in the lines of the poem. The poem written by Leslie Norris explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger that lives in a zoo. The poet explains what his life could be if he had been a free animal. The tiger was thinking in the case, if he would be free, he would be able to do according to his own wish. But now he was caged, he was behind the bars, and he was able to do only those things which he can do in the cage. The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. See the explanation. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet white in his white rays. One day I was discussing with you regarding figure of speech, and I told you repetition. Can you tell me what repetition is? It is there in the poem also and in the question also. So what is repetition? What is the definition of repetition? Alliteration, assonance, repetition, and refrain. I told you. Anyone can try. If you are right, it's okay. If you are wrong also, then also it's okay. So don't worry कि मैं गलत बोलूंगा तो मैम बोलेंगी या कुछ. What is repetition? जिस तरह हम सिमली और मेटाफर, alliteration, personification पढ़ते हैं, उसी तरह repetition is also a device which is used by the writers, poets, authors to create the beauty, to beautify the language or to create the curiosity of the readers. So here he stalks in his vivid stripe the few steps of his cage. First we will see these two lines. Stalks means follows. Vivid, bright colored. Pad, paws of tiger. Rage, anger. Means he stalks, moves here and there In his vivid stripes, stripes means there is shape, जो टाइगर होता है उसके शरीर पे धारियां होती है, that is known as stripes. नारायण आज बहुत दिनों बाद ज्वाइन किया. The few steps of his cage, he was already in iron bars and he would be able to move in that from this wall to the end wall of the cage. Means he cannot move according to his own wish as he would be in jungle. समझ में आ रही है मेरी बात? जिसे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है वो तुरंत बोलो. Clear to you? He is used for tiger. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage. The tiger would be able to move only few steps in the cage of pads of velvet quiet in his quiet race. Pads, claws of, means paws of tiger. It would be able to move quietly and with velvet pad, means it has the padded feet, padded claws, and in his quiet race. He was angry, but he cannot show his anger. अगर बाहर में रहा जंगल में और टाइगर एंग्री रहेगा तो क्या करेगा? Do you have any imagination what a tiger can do if he is angry? Why you people are not giving any answer? Am I not audible to you? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
आवाज नहीं जा रही है मेरी क्या?
मैम आ रही है.
आ रही है तो तुम लोग कुछ जवाब नहीं दे रहे हो. He will try to kill other animals and Swastik, I got the answer from you. Try to speak. What is, why you people are hesitating in speaking? I don't know. कोशिश तो करो बोलने की. और लिख रहे हो तो ये भी अच्छी है, but sometimes I feel that I am just speaking and either you are not able to listen me or you are not understanding. So again I am explaining those lines. Here the poet says that the tiger that is confined in the zoo moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. He further says that the tiger can take only a few steps because the cage is small. It cannot be like a jungle. केज तो छोटा ही होगा ना, जंगल तो बहुत बड़ी एरिया होगी और वहां पे टाइगर कहीं भी जा सकता है. But he was caged by the human beings and it is not easy to move in it. One cannot hear his footsteps because he has very soft feet like velvet, because of which there is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of his cage. He is angry because he is not free. So freedom is required to all, whether it is human beings or it is animals. Here, literary device is personification. The tiger is personified. In spite of using it, the poet has given it third person he. Rhyme scheme. Can you tell me the rhyme scheme of lines? Anyone? I am waiting for your answer. So if you are knowing, you can write. A, B, C, B. Very good. It is A, B, C, B. Listen to me. How we will take the rhyme scheme. Stripes doesn't rhyme with cage. Quite also not rhyming with anyone, but cage and rage are rhyming. So it will be A, B, C, B. समझ में आ गई बात सभी को? Cage and rage due to that. Where is metaphor used here? Can you tell me the line where metaphor is used? No one. Okay, I will tell you. tiger's paws are compared with velvet, means pads of velvet, because there is no sound coming out. So they have the padded feet, गद्देदार पैर होते हैं उनके, लेकिन यहाँ उसने कंपेयर कर दिया है उसको वेलवेट से. So it is metaphor. And one new device is used here, that is oxymoron. Oxymoron is use of adjectives opposite in meaning. Use of write one line with pencil in your book itself. Use of adjectives opposite in meaning. In bracket you will write quite, rage. See, if a person or if anyone is angry, it should not be quite, it is angry only. तो यहाँ पे कह रहा है कि quite भी है और rage भी है, means both adjectives are used in contrasting ways. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. If the tiger would be in jungle, what it would be doing? Here it has been mentioned. To be hidden as to wait for your prey. Lurking means, write the meaning of lurking, and it might be given in your book also. To be hidden as to wait for prey. He should be lurking in shadow. The poet says that if this tiger was free, he would have hid himself in the behind the long grass to and near the water bodies, so that he could easily catch a deer when the deer would come to drink water from the water holes, and in order to have it as its food. Basically, the poet wants to say that the actual life of a tiger is to live in jungle where he could catch his prey and eat it, but the tiger in the case cannot do so. I told you, no, when the child was asking the bird to be her pet, the bird said that a running water cannot be drunk from a silver plate. In the same way, tiger, if it will be in jungle, it would be able to take or hunt his own prey. But he was in cage. He was under captivity of someone. He cannot move more than the diameter or diameter of the cage. Here, he was in cage and so he cannot do so, which he wished to. Rhyme scheme is, what is the rhyme scheme of this stanza? Because it has different rhyme scheme everywhere. ABCB is here also. Grass, pass. Yes, ABCB. Where is the use of alliteration? कहाँ पे use है alliteration का, बताओ. Tell me whether it is right or wrong, that doesn't matter. बोलो तो. कहीं पे एक word है plum, pass. Have you got it in your book? Plum, pass. Yes. So yes. It is the repetition of same consonant sound word, that is P. Plum and pass. So this will be alliteration. Here, imagery is also used. Imagery means the poet has tried to create an image of tiger's activities. Here it said that lurking in shadow. कई बार टाइगर जो है वो शैडो में चुपचाप बैठा रहता है, वेटिंग फॉर इट्स प्रे, अपने शिकार का इंतजार करते हुए वाटर होल्स के पास, क्योंकि जब डियर वहां आएंगे तो इट वुड बी एबल टू किल देम and use them as their own food. Plump deer pass, जहां से मोटे ताजे. Plum means Arya, a tiger in the zoo from first flight. he should be okay. He should be snarling around houses. Snarling means warning sounds made by animals. Plump means fleshy. Yes. Yes, Narayan. Mota taja. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Snarling means warning sounds made by animals. Baring means uncovered. We used to say, no, you don't walk barefooted. So bare is the first form of verb and bearing is which form of verb? Anyone? This is so easy. Don't take much time. Bearing is V4. Yes. Participle keh lo, continuous keh lo, it is participle form of verb. Fangs, sharp tooth of animals. So here the poet says that if the tiger would have been free, he would have snarled around the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. जंगल के किनारों में जो घर बने रहते हैं, गांव रहते हैं वहां पे, तो उनके बारे में कह रहा है. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This should create fear among the people living in the villages. देखो, जितने भी गांव जंगल के इर्द गिर्द बसे रहते हैं, तो they used to take some safety measures because the jungle is very near and any time any जो भी wild animals होते हैं तो वो आ सकते हैं. So in the same way, here the tiger is thinking himself. The poet says that if tiger would have been free, he would have snarled around the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the villages. Here, rhyme scheme is the same, ABCD. Edge, village. Onomatopoeia is used. Now, in class 9th, I told you what onomatopoeia is. See, when sound words are used to clear the meaning of the word, then we will say it an onomatopoeia, using words which denote sound. Like snarling. Snarling is used for sound. So it is onomatopoeia. Assonance is also used. Now tell me where it is used. Alliteration, same consonant sound. Repetition of same consonant sound is called alliteration. Repetition of same word is called repetition. Assonance, repetition of same vowel sound is called assonance. तो यहाँ पे बताओ कहाँ पे vowel sound का repeated है? O and I are repeated here. Should, around, houses. O is repeated. Bearing, his, white, his. I का repetition. Consonants, use of consonant sound is O. But he is locked in a concrete cell. His strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Here, concrete means building made of brick, cement, sand, and water. So here the poet, now the poet comes to the reality of the tiger that is inside the cage. He says that the tiger is confined in a strong cell, which is made of strong building material. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, so his violent attacks or ferociousness keh sakte ho, is also behind the bars. He couldn't do anything because he was prisoned. He just stalks in the cage. He never tries to terrorize the visitors because his power is restricted by the cage. Therefore, he never tries to terrorize the visitors as he cannot attack them. अभी आ रहा है, बहुत लेट आ रहा है. Again the rhyme scheme is ABCB. Personification तो है ही. Alliteration B, 2 words behind the bars. यहाँ पे alliteration है. He hears the last voice at night. The patrolling cars. Do you know what is patrolling? तुमने सुना होगा कि पुलिस पेट्रोलिंग कर रही थी. What do you understand by it? To guard. Patrolling means to guard or to vigilant. किसी चीज की रक्षा करना, सुरक्षा करना. So here the poet says that in the night the tiger hears the sound of for checking. No surveys. नहीं. Patrolling means to guard something. किसी चीज की सुरक्षा करना. The poet says that in the night the tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicles of police which are used to guard at night. So in the night the tiger hears the sound of these cars. He then stares at the shining stars with his shining eyes. As he is confirmed in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Confined in the cage, not confirmed. Therefore, he stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thoughts towards them. See how helpless an animal is when it is behind the bar. He wanted to go out, hunt his prey, and live freely in the jungle. But he is in bars and he couldn't do any natural activities which he is supposed to do. वो जो करना चाहता है वो नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि उसे पता है कि मेरी औकात यहाँ इतनी ही है कि मुझे जो कुछ भी करना है वो केज के अंदर ही रह के करना है. Literary devices are same. Alliteration here, starting of 2 words he hears. Assonance है use of I sound with his brilliant. Now this lesson is ended now. If you have any queries, you can ask. Any line which you haven't understood, you can ask me. पूछ लो अगर किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो. Anyone? नहीं. So let us move to the question answer. Read the poem again and work in pairs or groups to do the following task. Find the words that describe the movement and action of the tiger in the cage and in the wild. Arrange them in the 2 columns. Find the words that describe the 2 places and arrange them in 2 columns. In the cage, क्या करता है tiger? Stops, quiet, rage, ignoring visitors, hears the sound of patrolling cars, stares at stars. And in the wild, in the jungle, what it could do? Lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass, snarling around houses, baring his white fangs, terrorizing the village. Stare means to look. Here's Aprajita, I don't understand what you want. Arya? Oh, you are writing the answer. Okay. Cage, few steps of his cage. It could only move up to few steps of his cage. Yes. Yes. Now I understood. Locked in concrete cell. His standard strength behind bars. Terrorizing the villagers. Shadow long grass. Wild में क्या करेगा? Snarling around houses. Bearing his white fangs, his claws, ignoring visitors. Notice the use of word repeated in lines such as these. मैंने शुरू में ही पूछा था तुमसे. बताओ. On pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage and stare with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. What do you think is the effect of this repetition? This is the device I told you that is known as repetition because quiet is used 2 times and here brilliant is used 2 times. Quiet and brilliant. Yes. Why the poet has used repetition? The poet has repeated the words to give a nice impact to his poem. Like the use of white with velvet pads describes that the tiger has to walk in the limited area of his cage. He cannot run as he would have done had it been in the forest, whereas white rays shows the hidden anger inside him, which has grown stronger because of his confinement in the cage. The next word he used is brilliant. The word brilliant in the first line means the twinkling of the stars, and the brilliant words used for the tiger's eyes shows the sadness of the tiger, who would have led a free and fearless life if it were in the jungle. That's all. I think only this much and question answer is there. हो गया ये? Now tell me if you have any queries regarding this, you can ask.